At night, the phones glow blue on Mama and Dad's faces. The fan in the bathroom hums like a far ocean. I lie under my blanket and make a small tent with my knees. It is warm inside. My tablet light turns the cloth into a soft orange sky, and my fingers make shadows walking up the hill of my legs. I keep a juice box under my pillow. Apple. I like the crinkle of the straw wrapper. I like knowing it is there, cold at first and then warm from my head. If I wake, I touch it with my fingers and count 1, 2, 3. The counting makes my chest slow down. Our apartment is small, the kind you can hear all the rooms from one place. When the bathroom fan stops, the kitchen hum starts. When that stops, sometimes there is only the sound of the phones, tiny clicks and buzzes like bugs at a window screen. Mama watches the news. I know because the words from home come fast and low. Dad watches a man fix a sink, then a man fix a car, then a man throwing boxes very fast. He does not laugh, but sometimes he snorts like he almost does. We came here because water came into our old kitchen without permission. It ran along the floor, under the table legs, cool and secret like a cat. Mama put cups on the counter and towels at the door. Dad lifted me and said we would go make a visit and come back later. Later never came. The water stayed and we left. And now we live up the stairs where you can see a grey strip of sky if you stand on a chair and press your face to the window. In the morning, the window is cold. If I put my forehead on it, my head feels better, and the inside of the glass fogs a little. Mama taps my shoulder. "Andy," she says. She is already in her work shirt. The name tag is still on the table. She will pin it to her chest on the way out, and it will say the letters of her name and not the soft sound I say at home. Dad drinks coffee and rubs his back with a flat hand like he is smoothing a wrinkle. He used to sit with a small computer and talk to himself in words that looked like stairs. Now he ties boots. "School," Mama says in our language. "Brave boy." I put the juice box in my backpack. I do not like to leave it behind. It's small, but it is mine, and when everything else feels like a big room, a small thing is good. The school smells like wet mittens. Miss Patel smiles at me at the door. "Good morning, Andy," she says in the new language. She says it slow, like walking down steps with someone. I like her voice. It is warm and round. She pushes the light switch that makes a starry night on the ceiling, and the kids all go, "Ooh," then laugh. A boy with a shirt with a dinosaur shows another boy how it roars if you press it. Miss Patel writes the letters of my name on the board. "Class, this is Andy," she says. "He's joining us this week." The word joining feels like a door. I try to step through. My mouth moves. My hello comes out with a curl from home. Some kids smile, some don't. One boy repeats my hello back to me, but he makes it sound like I am chewing when I talk. A few kids giggle. My face gets hot. I look at my shoes. They have little bits of dirt near the toes, where the glue is. We sit on a rug with squares. The squares are like little islands. I sit on blue. Miss Patel holds up a book about a bear in a red hat. When she points at a picture, we say the word. My mouth knows some words and not others. When I try a long one, it breaks in the middle like a stick that was wet. The sound I make is not the sound on the page. There is a small hiss of laughter behind my ear. I don't turn around. Miss Patel smiles at me, not the way of making me special, just the way that is for everybody. "Thank you for trying," she says. "We try again tomorrow." At recess, I stand near a wall and pretend to read the rules. A boy eats alone at the end of a table. His hair falls into his eyes, and he misses it with his hand when he pushes it back. He opens his mouth to say something to himself, and the first sound stumbles and trips out. Two other boys look at each other and make the same sound, but longer, like a joke with a rubber band. Nobody stops them. The boy keeps chewing. He looks at his sandwich like it is a map, but he is not sure where his house is. I look away. My heart taps, not fast, but hard enough that I notice. I do not want my noticing to show. I go to the water fountain and press the metal with my thumb, and the water jumps up like a little fish. I drink quickly so I do not have to talk to anyone. At lunch, the cafeteria is a river. Trays clatter and shoes squeak and the big light hums. If you press the straw into the hole of a juice box slowly, it makes a small pop, and then the sweet smell comes. I do it slow. I like to feel the straw give and then go in. The boy with the hair is at the end of the table again. He is careful with the milk carton, like he is not sure it will be kind. "Hey, say it," someone says to me on the way to the trash. "Say your name how you say it. Say it." They make the soft part too soft, then too hard. They try it on like a hat they don't like. My face heats again. I go to the bathroom and listen to the fan. The fan is the same in this building as at home. It is the best sound in the world because it covers other sounds and does not ask for anything. After school, my backpack is heavy. It has the juice box inside, empty, and it is heavier than it was when it was full. I like how it feels heavy with nothing inside. At home, the fridge makes a click like someone thought of something. Mama stands by the sink and reads the news on her phone. Her mouth is pressed together and her eyebrows make a small roof. Dad is not home yet. His back will be tired, and he will put his boots in a line and say he needs to sit for a minute before the minute turns into an hour. I open my tablet and the game world jumps awake. The colors are home colors. My old friends are already on. Their icons blink. "Andy," they say in our language. No one makes it a joke. They already know the curl on my words. We run on a little map we made months ago. The river on it is a blue ribbon, and it never gets bigger or surprises us. I build a bridge with blocks, and it goes up straight and stays up. We laugh when a goat tries to climb it and slides down on its side. Mama leans in the doorway. "How was school?" she asks in our language. One of her thumbs still scrolls. I look up at her face and not the thumb. "Fine," I say. It is a small word. It fits under my tongue. It does not say about the rug squares or the boy or the giggles or the bathroom fan or my cheeks. It says nothing, and that feels safe. She nods and goes back to the news. The light from her phone makes a line on the wall. I put the tablet on my knees and talk to my friends about a new trap on the map. When Dad comes in, he is all box corners and tired eyes. He bumps my head with his knuckles gently, the way he always did before. "Tomorrow will be better," he says. "It is a wish, not a promise." I nod. I want to believe wishes. The next morning, in the hallway at school, a small circle forms the way soap makes a circle on water. Two boys lean over a screen and laugh. A girl points. My stomach flips and then flips back. I do not want to know, and I know anyway. Someone holds up the phone, and I see my face with the rug squares behind me, and my mouth trying the long word. I can hear my wrong sound, but the phone makes it slower, like pulling gum. It goes on and on. A boy copies the sound under his breath, and it is almost a song. There is a green triangle in the corner that says it will play again by itself. Ms. Patel's shoes come, and the circle snaps into straight lines. "Put it away, please," she says, not mean, just like moving a chair back to where it belongs. They put it away. But on the bus home from school, I can still hear the long wrong sound, and it sticks to me like the peel on a sticker you can't get off your fingers. That night, I don't want to eat, but I eat 3 bites of rice and a piece of carrot. Mama pushes her phone away and looks at me, and I look at the pattern of the table. "It takes time," she says, and her voice is tired but soft. "We learn, they learn." Her thumb goes back, slow. The news moves again. Dad watches a video where a man lifts a refrigerator by himself. He says, like a bee. I put my plate in the sink and dry my hands on my shirt. My hands smell like carrot and soap. I go to the corner where my blanket lives and climb under. The tent is back. The light on my tablet is a small sun. My game pings, and the ping makes the room feel like a place with a door I can close. My old friends say my name. They ask if I want to show them the goat trick again. I do. We laugh. Nobody is filming. When Mama passes by the tent, the light from her phone makes a stripe on the blanket. She stops and sits down on the floor, so her shoulder makes a bump under the cloth. "Good night, baby," she says, with the old word only for me. I want to pull the blanket up and make a new world where nobody has a camera and all the words fit. I want to stay there, stay until my bones feel quiet. I say, "Night, Mama," and she touches my foot through the blanket. A light press, and then the phone glow moves away. In the orange tent, I take out the juice box and press the straw through the silver dot. The crinkle is small but true. I like truths you can feel. I sip, and my tongue gets sweet. I watch my little guy in the game walk across the bridge I made. He does not fall. I pretend the bridge is over our old kitchen and we walk and walk and the water cannot climb. The fan in the bathroom is on. The apartment hums. The blanket blocks the kitchen light, but not the sound. I hold the juice box under my chin and the corner of it is cool. I think about the boy with the hair. I think about the laugh that is a hiss. I think about Miss Patel's smile, like a hand under my elbow when you step down from a bus. The game pings again, a little lighthouse blink under the cloth. I make my guy jump. He lands. My eyes close without me telling them to. I put the tablet on the floor and the juice box under my pillow. The straw points the way like a little sign. I touch the juice box under my pillow and count 1, 2, 3. The game pings again, a little lighthouse blink under the cloth. Tomorrow is school again. My stomach is twisty like a towel being wrung, so I press my forehead to the window. The glass is cold and kind. A fog circle blooms where I breathe. The thermometer beeps and makes the decision for me. Mama feels my cheek with the back of her hand. Warm, she asks. Window makes it better, I say. The numbers blink. Not enough to stay home. School anyway. Mama sighs and kisses my hair. Brave boy, she says. She tucks a small orange into my backpack, and the juice box I hid last night bumps against it. Dad ties his boots with the sounds of Velcro and laces and a small grunt. You got this, he says, and rubs his back like ironing a shirt that won't lie flat. In the hallway, the floor smells like wet mittens and cleaner. I walk slow. I try to make my footsteps match the cracks. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Reading circle is a round rug that keeps turning even if you stand still. Miss Patel holds up a card with a long word. She looks at me and nods, the soft kind of nod. I try the word. The middle sticks and stretches. A bubble of giggle pops somewhere behind me. Miss Patel says, "Thank you, Andy. We'll try again later." Her voice is a hand catching my elbow so I don't fall off a step. I shake my head small. I want later to be never. I wish I could pick only the words that fit today and leave the rest in the coat closet. At recess, I sit near the trash can because it hides me from one side. Thomas stands near the end of a table with his tray. His clothes look soft from many washes. His hair keeps forgetting where to be. He opens his mouth, and the first sound bumps into the second, and they both fall. A boy next to him makes the bumping sound back, and another boy stretches it long like gum. Phones click on and tilt like curious birds. No adult looks. A milk carton tips by accident or on purpose. It makes a white moon on the floor, and nobody wipes it. The sour-sweet smell walks to me. I get up and press my finger to the juice box straw hole. The foil dot gives a little and then pops. The pop is a real thing in a room of pretend laughs. I count the steps to my table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Counting makes the room stop being an ocean for a second. After school, Miss Patel's message blinks on my tablet. You did brave tries today. New words tomorrow, it says with a smiling face sticker. I swipe it away before Mama can see, and I open my game. My friends' names bloom on the screen like lights in the dark. Andy, they say. Right, always right. We run across our little map. The river ribbon is tame. My bridge stands. No milk floods. No phones. The apartment hums. The fridge makes a click like a remember. Mama is at the table with her phone in one hand and a pen in the other, twisting it. She watches the news, but not the pen. Dad comes home with box smell and rain on his jacket. He puts his boots in a line and leans against the wall with his eyes closed. 5 minutes, he says to the room. At dinner, I push rice around the plate and make a white hill. My stomach still feels wrung. Mama watches me, then the phone, then me again. After dinner, no tablet, Dad says, still leaning. His voice tries to be steady, like a ruler. The word no bangs inside my head. Heat jumps into my face without asking me. But I'm playing with them now, I say. They're waiting. They can wait, Dad says. You need sleep for school. My eyes sting. The room gets slippery. You are on your phone, I say, pointing. You and Mama, you are on it all the time. Mama puts her phone down like it is heavier than it is. We are trying, Andy, she says. We are tired. I'm tired, I say louder than I meant. It comes out hot and breaks in the middle. I hate the break. Dad walks to the table and holds out his hand. Tablet, he says. I hug it to my chest and the corner digs in. Tears jump out of my eyes. No! He waits. He doesn't grab. He just waits, and the waiting is worse. I throw the tablet onto the couch so I don't have to hand it over. It lands with a soft thud that feels mean. I kick the chair leg. It makes a small crack sound. I do not want to break things. I want the hot to stop. Mama takes a magnet from the fridge and sticks up a piece of paper. She draws boxes with a thick blue pen. Chart, she says. Stars for reading, for being kind, for bedtime. Half-an-hour game after dinner if stars. The pen squeaks. The magnet clicks. The paper is crooked. I hate it, and I want to love it. I nod because I don't want to cry more. A tear is already in my mouth. It tastes like salt and apple from my breath. We try, Mama says. All of us. She puts the phone in the bowl on the counter, like it is a fish that needs to sleep there. After dinner, there is no game. The apartment is loud, with my not playing. It echoes. I go to my blanket corner and pull it over my head. The tent is darker without the screen. Dad sits on the floor outside. I can see his knee press the blanket. I know it's hard, he says. When I was your age, he stops, and the space after the stop is big. We will find a better way. I do not answer. My breath hiccups. The hiccup hurts. I count the stitches in the blanket seam until the hurt gets smaller. Later, the chart shines with one new star because I read 10 minutes out loud to Mama while she cut carrots. The star is gold and flat and doesn't fix anything, but it is smooth if you run your finger over it. The fridge hum is steady. The bowl holds the phones. My tablet sleeps on the shelf next to them like a cousin at a sleepover who isn't allowed to talk. In bed, I squeeze the juice box straw until it crinkles like rain on a tent. The sound is small and only for me. I put the box under my pillow so I know where it is if the night gets big. In the morning, the window is cold again. I think about saying my stomach hurts. Twisty, I could say. I put my forehead to the glass to see if I can change the numbers. The thermometer beeps. The numbers say school. Mama kisses my cheek. Brave, she says. I go. At school, the light hums like bees that forgot their way home. I pull my Velcro shoes tight. The rip sound is satisfying. I like sounds you can finish with your hands. Miss Patel says good morning, and I say it back without the long word that breaks. I choose the small words that don't fight me today. At snack time, a girl asks where I'm from. I point to my chest because home feels like a place inside now. She nods like she understands, and then shows me a sticker. It is a star with a smiling face. I like that one, I say. We are not friends, but the space between us is not sharp. Lunch is the river again. Trays clatter like stones in water. The fluorescent lights buzz. The sweet sour milk smell is already there near the trash. I sit near the end and open my orange. The peel makes the air brighter. I put my straw into the juice box. The pop is quieter today, like it is watching. Thomas stands alone again with his milk carton. Ethan leans with his elbow on the table, smiling with only his teeth. Phones lift around them like small moons. The floor is clean where the milk was, but today, a new carton is on the edge of the table where Thomas stands. It wobbles. Say it, someone tells Thomas. The first sound of his name stretched like gum. My hands get hot. I hold the juice box tighter and the sides cave in, and juice climbs the straw toward my mouth too fast. I swallow. It is too sweet. I press my thumb to the wet on the table and draw a tiny circle, then wipe it with the sleeve of my hoodie. I start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I count again, but quieter inside. The counting makes a little wall where I can stand. A phone screen points my way for a second, like a flashlight, and then goes back to Thomas. I duck my head and stare at my orange peel like it is a map. No phones at lunch, a poster says on the wall, but the corner is peeled and the tape is tired. Nobody reads posters when a circle is forming. The lunch monitor is far away, talking. Her whistle hangs on a string like a tiny silver fish that is asleep. The milk slides over the floor, slow and shiny. It kisses the rubber of Thomas's shoe. He flinches, just a little, like a bird. My game pings inside my backpack, a tiny sound under all the big ones, like a friend knocking from very far away. I do not open the zipper. I hold the edge of the table until my fingers pale. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ethan tilts his phone higher. The The light makes Thomas's face look like two faces, one in the screen and one in the room. I think about the chart on our fridge, the crooked boxes, the gold star that is smooth. I think about Dad waiting instead of grabbing. I think about Mama putting her phone to sleep in a bowl. They are small things, but they are trying. Thomas swallows. I can see the movement in his throat. His eyes shine like he might laugh or cry or both. The milk puddle spreads into a fat comma around his shoe. I breathe in and it hurts a little, like the air is too big. I breathe out and it hurts less. The room is still a river, but I can hear my own breath in it now. The phones rise higher, a whole sky of little moons. The milk kisses Thomas's shoe again, and the circle tightens. Tomorrow, it will either drown us or wash something clean. Lunch starts loud, like it always does. Trays clap, shoes squeak. The big light hums like bees that can't find their way home. I count steps from the line to the table so my head doesn't float away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I sit. I put my orange on the tray and my juice box in the corner where my hand can find it without looking. Thomas stands alone with his tray. He is near the end, where the table leg wobbles and the surface tilts just a little. His milk carton sits close to the edge, like it wants to climb down all by itself. He stares at the carton, and then not at it, like if he doesn't look, it will learn how to be kind. Ethan leans with his hip against the bench, one knee bouncing. He smiles with only his teeth. Other kids gather, not all mean, but not brave enough to go. Their phones lift like small moons. On the wall behind them, a poster says, "No phones at lunch," but the corner hangs down and the tape is tired. A yellow wet floor sign sleeps near the door, face turned away, as if the floor here never gets wet. A ping sounds inside my backpack. It is small under the clatter, but it finds me. My friends, our map. Andy, they would say if I open the zipper and let the other world out. I do not move. The zipper tooth presses my wrist when I grip the edge of the table. I keep my eyes on the juice box straw, on the tiny silver dot waiting. Ethan's shoulder bumps Thomas. The milk tips. White runs down the blue of Thomas's shirt in a slow line, then faster, then more. He freezes, mouth open but not for words, like a fish that jumped too high and forgot the water. The first laugh comes sharp and breaks into smaller pieces that roll across the table. A phone points closer. Someone says, "Say it," stretching the first sound of Thomas's name like gum. Air moves wrong in my chest. It is too big and too thin at the same time. The room is all river noise, trays and spoons, and the long hum and the high ping of the fork that falls and rings on tile. The milk makes a path down to the edge and jumps to the floor. Shoes squeak and smear it. It spreads, a white crescent curling around Thomas's shoe. "Enough," I say inside my head. I say it in our language because the new words are like shoes that pinch. I swallow. I feel the carton corner under my finger and press, and the straw pushes through the foil with a soft pop. I don't drink. My hand is shaking, and the straw trembles like a little flag. Thomas lifts his hands a little and lets them drop. He looks as if he is waiting for instructions in a game, and nobody will say which button to press. His hair is stuck to his forehead in two dark lines. The sour sweet smell climbs up, milk and sweat and something like old fruit. The ping comes again in my backpack. A light tap, like a friend knocking from very far away. I breathe in and out. Juice drips off my chin. It tickles and I ignore it. My hand is sticky where the box empties, and the carton crushes in with a soft crackle. I throw it into the trash near my foot, and it lands and doesn't bounce. I turn to Thomas. We are the same height now because he is holding himself taller, and I am maybe smaller from the stickiness pulling me down. Our shoulders touch, just a little. It is not a bump, not a push, not a flinch, just touch. I am wet, and he is wet, and the squeak under our shoes says the floor is our floor. "Now we are the same," I say, with the new words, simple and slow, so I can carry them all the way to him. They are not perfect. They are enough. He looks at me, not down, not away. His mouth opens for a sound, and no sound comes. And then a sound comes that is almost a laugh and almost a sob. His eyes get wet, but he blinks and they hold. Ethan's phone dips. His hand shifts, so the camera points at nothing. His face changes in a way I can't name, like he stood up too fast and felt the room tilt. Someone behind him lowers their phone almost without meaning to. Another kid slides their device into a pocket because their hand needs to be doing something else. I feel my heart in my ears. My hair sticks to my forehead. Juice runs into my ear and makes a small, cold path. I want to wipe it, and I don't. If I move now, I will move back to my table and sit down and pretend I was never here. I don't move. The lunch monitor turns, finally, like the room pulled on a string. Her eyes find the white on the floor, the kids with phones, the two boys standing together with wet shirts. Her hand goes to her whistle, like her mouth remembered a job. The whistle shrieks once, a thin, bright line through the hum. Miss Patel is a shape in the doorway, a slice of her scarf blue as the sky under a lid. She is talking to another teacher, and then she's not talking anymore. I don't know if she saw before or after or the middle. I only know she is there, and I am here. The circle loosens the way a tide pulls back from a rock. Shoes slap toward us, the monitors, sure and quick. The yellow wet floor sign is still sleeping. The poster still sags. The river of noise is gone. The room is just a room, quiet and wide. Thomas's shoulder presses mine for half a breath, like a thank you made with bones. I don't look at him, and he doesn't look at me. We look straight ahead at the space where the monitor is coming, and the milk is, and the phones are not so high. My hands shake, my knees shake, my breath is a little laugh I didn't mean, and I don't let it be loud. Somewhere near the trash, a tray tips and clatters, and somebody says, "Oops." It sounds normal and strange at the same time. Ethan's teeth are not showing now. He looks at the milk on the floor like he will have to clean it, and that is the first time I see him thinking about work. His knee stops bouncing. Juice drips to the floor and makes a second, sweet-smelling crescent inside the white one. 2 moons. They shine under the humming light. Sticky and shaking, I keep standing as the whistle cuts the room and shoes slap closer. The lunch monitor's whistle splits the room, and then there are hands and paper towels and the squeak of shoes stepping carefully. Miss Patel's scarf is the sky, and her hand is warm on my shoulder. She says my name once, quiet, like a heartbeat. There are questions, but not big ones yet. "You two, come with me," the monitor says. Her voice is not a storm, it is a broom. We walk together to the office, our shirts still wet. The hallway smells like pencils and mop water. Thomas's sleeve brushes mine now and then, a soft scritch, and it makes my stomach stop floating. We sit on 2 blue chairs with metal legs that tap the floor when you move. The monitor talks to the lady at the desk, and then she says we need to wait. And waiting fills the room like a balloon you can see but can't pop. Miss Patel kneels so her eyes are low. "Are you hurt?" she asks. We shake our heads. She looks at Thomas longer, like she is asking with her eyes again. He gives the smallest nod. "Yes, I'm okay for now." The lunch monitor's notes are on a clipboard. Words like phones and milk and crowd sit next to each other like kids who don't like sitting next to each other. Miss Patel says, "No phones at lunch," to the monitor, but it is not new. It is a rule already, just a rule that was sleeping. "We'll make it real," she says. She looks at me and at Thomas and says, "Thank you for telling the truth with your bodies." I think about juice in my hair, and my face goes hot again in a different way. A person from the office brings a bag with 2 shirts from the lost and found. Mine is big on me and smells like laundry and dust. Thomas puts on a green one that has a dinosaur tail printed on the back, and the tail bends around his side like it is trying to hug him. The old wet shirts go into a plastic sack, and the sack crackles when we move. When we go back to the cafeteria, the yellow wet floor sign is awake now, standing with its legs wide like a little soldier. A custodian pushes a mop, and the milk disappears into grey water that slaps and sighs. Ethan is there with a roll of paper towels. His face looks like he has the wrong size shoes on. He wipes a strip of table slowly and then faster when he feels people looking. No one laughs. The phones are away. You can feel the pockets holding them like quiet mouths. On the wall, a new sign is taped up, the tape fresh and neat. No phones during lunch in big letters. A chair has been pulled to the front to make a small island. Miss Patel calls it the buddy table. She tells the class, "If you don't want to sit alone, if you want someone beside you, come sit here and I will help you find a buddy." Her voice is not a whistle. It is the way a hand goes under your elbow when you step down. Thomas looks at the table and then at me. He doesn't move. I don't either. Miss Patel looks our way and her mouth makes a line that means it is our choice. The old laptop sits on the table like a small animal we tamed. Dad carried it like a loaf of bread that might fall apart, careful and proud. We set it up near the lamp. The cord snakes to the wall. The screen opens like a window. The map in my game waits for us, quiet, all the blue ribbons and blocks in their places. My friends' names bloom on the corner of the screen, one by one. Andy, they say, and my name is not a joke. I say, I have someone to meet you, in our language. I say, he is my friend. My mouth feels big around the word friend in the lunchroom words and in our home words, and both are true. We hold the screen so the camera sees the buddy table green shirt with the dinosaur tail and the small notebook where Thomas keeps bird stickers. He lifts the notebook up. A sticker with a red bird shines in the lamp. Hi, he says, a little stuck on the start. Then the word gets out and sits next to us. He waves. On the other side, one of my friends waves back too hard, and his hand goes off the edge of his camera, and then back on. We all laugh in the same language. Air and throat and teeth. We show them the paper bridges. We tilt them and put pencils on top and say, look, and whoa, and almost. And these words are for everyone. Mama brings us tea in mugs that don't match and sets them down without talking. She looks at the screen, and then at us, and then at the bowl where the phones nap, and she smiles like the tea is a bridge too. Dad sits on the arm of the couch like he is testing it, and then sits all the way, and he doesn't open his phone because it is asleep. He watches us without looking at the screen too hard, and he watches us, really watches, not just the screen. We show my friends the river on our map. It is a blue ribbon like always. We can build a footbridge, one says. Thomas leans closer and points to a spot where the blocks will hold better. He says the word for fold in the lunchroom language, then in our language. Then he laughs because the words feel like cloth in the mouth. My friends try both. They get stuck. They try again. The trying is the game. When the call ends, the screen shows our faces small in the corner for a second before it closes. 2 small boys, 1 table. The room hums at the soft note of the fridge and the fan and the old laptop. The bowl holds the phones and the glow is from the lamp and our faces. I think of milk puddles and clean floors, paper bridges and the footbridge tomorrow. The juice box from my bag is full again, waiting by my pillow. The straw wrapper crinkles when I touch it. I don't need to drink it tonight, but I like knowing it's there. 2 screens, 2 friends, 1 table, the bridge holds, and the room hums easy in the dark.